Hello everybody, my name is Mariako, and welcome to my island. So what you're actually seeing here is a mushroom island biome, which I've converted over to grass and gave a sort of uncharted tropical island type theme. Now, quite some time ago, I showed some of the stuff I've done on the island off, and at the time I had several requests to do a full tour, which I agreed I would. I then proceeded to put it off, for a very, very long time. And I've always felt a little bit bad about that. Well, I figured I've put it off long enough as it is, and here we are. Now there's quite a bit to see, and I want to keep this video as short as I possibly can, so let's get right to it. Alright, so the first stop on our little tour is going to be my main storage room, which is right over this way. So my island has a little bit of a theme to it. The short version is basically that everything here was built by some ancient, hidden civilization living beneath the surface of the island, and now I'm here just kind of taking advantage of what they have long since left behind. Now, I give myself little backstories like that, especially with big projects like this one, because it helps me establish a build style. It helps me decide how I want things to look and how I want them to fit together. So, in the case of my island, that means that, a lot of things are built underground, they're connected together with natural cave systems, and you also have a lot of stuff like this, where you'll come across an entrance to a cave or something similar, and you walk through and it'll open up into kind of a big cavernous room shaped into something practical and useful. Now in this case, quite obviously, we've ended up in my main storage room. Now, there's not a whole lot to say about this place. It's not fully automated or anything like that, so I think as far as storage rooms go, it's a pretty typical setup. It is admittedly a little bit bulky, but for me, that's a necessity. When it comes to Minecraft, I'm a little bit of a hoarder, so the vast majority of these chests actually get pretty well filled up, to the point where I've actually had to create an entire second storage room that's nearly as big as this one, purely for items that I get so much of that they overflow out of these chests. And we'll see that momentarily. Other than that, we have a speed 2 beacon in the middle, which helps me get around, and a pop-up enchanting station for when I need to use that. And that's my storage room. If we head back here, we'll end up in my auto smelter. Now you can probably guess how this works. You put what you want to smelt in the right-hand chest, you put your fuel source in the left one, and it'll automatically disperse amongst the 16 furnaces. Pretty typical stuff. This little thing right here is part of the furnace system. It's actually basically an indicator light. If I step on this pressure plate, this will switch to red. And when that block is red, it means that the items that get put into the furnace will stay there, so you can pick them up for XP, which I basically never do. And if it's green, it means the items will automatically get pulled out and put into this chest over here. So this little kind of block swapper, color changing block thing in place of an indicator light is a good example of one of those kind of design decisions I make because of my theme. And that is that I could just put a redstone lamp there. That would be the logical thing to do. It'd be much easier and whatnot. But that wouldn't feel very ancient civilization-like. So I've had to find other ways to kind of convey information rather than just using a redstone lamp. And you'll see a lot of stuff like that across the island, which is why I bring it up now. There's one other reason that I don't have a redstone lamp there, and that's that it would be a visible light source. If we take a look around the island, and this applies to anywhere that is finished on my island, you don't directly see where light is coming from, ever. Which is kind of a weird decision, considering this build style would actually look pretty good with torches. Like, it would make sense and they would actually look decent. But for whatever reason, I've decided I want all of my lighting to be hidden, and I like how it's turned out, so I'm going to keep doing it. So that's this area. Moving on, we'll go this way. This is another thing that we'll end up seeing a lot of, by the way. Like I said earlier, because most things are built underground, they're connected together with these kind of natural cave systems. So basically going from one room to another, we spend a lot of time in caves like this. I do realize, by the way, that it's a little weird, or a little illogical, I should say, to have like vines and leaves and whatnot growing through the ceilings of a cave, quite like this. But without them, the caves feel a little bit stagnant and boring, so for me, they're a necessity. Moving on, we end up in my bulk storage room. Like I said earlier, this is basically where certain types of blocks that I just get stacks upon stacks of end up. Naturally, cobble takes up an entire section by itself, to the point where I'll probably have to make a dedicated cobble storage area at some point. But of course, other things like flowers, I get plenty of at times. Mushrooms, I still have many stacks of from when I converted the island. Mob drops, sand, things like that. That's basically, they end up down here because they just don't fit within the 1 or 2 double chests that I have designed for them above. There's a little nature area down below this area. This is probably the only time, great, thunderstorm, lovely. This is probably the only time on my island where I really badly break my theme. And that's, what I'm saying is that having a glass floor, more specifically having a glass floor that supports many tons of stone bricks, not very ancient civilization-like. So this is one of the rare occasions, if not the only one, on my entire island where I kind of go against my theme a bit. And that was a spur-of-the-moment decision. When I came to build this area, I thought the idea of looking down into a nature area would be kind of cool. And it is. I like it. I do want to do more stuff down there. Right now it's really quite pointless. But I like the concept of it. So, a rare circumstance where doing something cool kind of trumped the theme that I have for my island. Moving on, we will go check out my netherwort farm, I guess. This is probably one of my least favorite areas on my island. It was a little bit rushed, and it needs to be redesigned a little bit. Mostly this area. This thing is kind of pointless. I mostly just needed an area to hide a hidden chest where I could stash some netherwort. So it's also broken, by the way, which we'll see momentarily. Let's go ahead and harvest this. The collection system for the netherwort is a little bit broken. I was tinkering with it recently, and I ended up making it like 10 times worse. And also the water stays way too long. But yeah, all of this is supposed to get picked up automatically, and I kind of broke it. So only a tiny bit of it actually is, which is kind of a bummer. I'll have to come and fix that at some point. It's on my to-do list. You guys know how it is. You get busy, have other projects, you don't get around to it. So this has been sitting broken for a long time. I don't even know if the water shuts off anymore. But yeah, you can see that some does get picked up. Just not all of it. I'm not sure why. I cannot believe the length of that water. There it goes. I'll have to fix this. We'll fix this soon, I hope. And yeah, I'll be redesigning this room soon. And I'll also come back and replant things later on. So moving on, if we go this other direction, we'll go from what was probably my least favorite area on the island to what is most likely my very favorite. And that is my brewing room. Now, this is the most illogical, pointless, excessive brewing room you will ever see in Minecraft. Maybe. People probably do go overboard, but this is probably one of the coolest ones for sure. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to reset this quick. I don't know why. So set to night vision or something. Anywho, let's go ahead and do one quick brew just because I want to show you how this works. So you come to this pool over here. We don't really need to at the moment, but you come to this pool, you would fill water balls up, and you'd go ahead and throw them in there. They'll automatically get filtered into the system. Then you come over here and you decide what kind of potion you want to brew. So let's go ahead and do a speed 2 potion, right? I think that's how I haven't brewed in so long despite having this room. I don't remember how potions are brewed. So we went ahead, we selected that. Then we come back here and we have this handsome fellow here. This is Olmec, the potion brewing god. Step on this, and if we come back here and look at the altar, we're going to see the ingredients for our potion drop down into the brewing system. They're down there brewing away. And if we look at Olmec, his left eye has turned green, which indicates that the system is running. It means that there's something being brewed. Let's go ahead and turn that back off because we only want to do this one set. His right eye would actually turn red, by the way, if we were running low on water bottles, which we are not. But if we ever were, that would turn red. It's an indicator. Over here, just kind of generic storage. I've had this storage room for a really long time, but I have yet to actually build up potions and even fill in the categories and whatnot. Which is kind of unfortunate. Heard that little chunk. That means that we have one ingredient left to go in the system. I'm going to go ahead and reset these while we wait. Bum, bum, bum. Let me come back over here. Assuming it didn't happen while I was over there. Come on, Olmec. There we go. Now, once the potions have finished brewing, Olmec kindly pukes them out for us, which is a completely redundant step, by the way, because then, after he pukes them out... Ooh, something appears to be broken back there. That should not be making a clicking noise. But after he pukes them out, they get put into a hidden chest in his face. There's other stuff hidden in his face too. I really like this trick of hiding things in blocks. Like here's a manual brewing stand if I need that. Here's a crafting bench. I think there's a ender chest in there somewhere. But yeah, the kind of a redundant step. I haven't puked them out just because I thought it looked really cool, but then they get stored in a hidden chest. Anywho, that's my brewing system. Like I said before, one of my favorite builds of all time, undoubtedly. It's such a weird, kooky, unnecessary, complicated thing that it's cool. I like it. It's got some charm to it. Anywho, let's go ahead and move to the next area, which I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. Probably my animals, come to think of it. So let's head out here. And of course it's nighttime. Another cave system. Nighttime and raining. Give me 1 minute. Alright, much better. So, heading out here, we have this really worn down, barely existent path. This way, by the way, I just thought I'll cover it quickly, is a little cave to get down to this side of the island, because there was no convenient way to get over here before. Unfortunately, I haven't built anything on this side of the island yet, so it's kind of pointless, but someday there will be a reason for that side of the island to exist. Anywho, we come down here, and these are my animal pens. Pigs, cows, chickens, mushroom, and my sheep. My sheep are a little overbred at the moment, and they're also, I have spam torches in there to make sure that grass is always growing. Basically, I need like a bazillion double chests full of light blue wool. I can't remember the exact number. I think it's literally something like 50, maybe, double chests of light blue wool. So, yeah, I've kept those guys overbred for a really long time. I think I'm up to like 10 double chests worth. Takes a while. Anywho, those are my animal pens. I should, they're all pretty much the same design, so you don't really need to look at them individually. But they're built into the hillside and whatnot. And you jump in, you come over here, there's a button, it lifts a block, and you get out. Surprisingly effective way to get out of a pen, by the way. The animal's AI doesn't catch on fast enough, so even if they're super bred up, like I've had like I think 200 cows in here before, and even if they're on the block when you push it up, their AI doesn't catch on fast enough to kind of make them jump out. So it's a really good way to get out of too deep holes with animals. Alright, so the next stop will be, I guess, my farming area, my normal plant farming area. Bit of a trek. Unfortunately, I do not have a proper way around my island yet, after all this time, and that's because of Mojang. Like every single patch, I've had an idea for a transportation system for my island, ever since before I moved here even. And unfortunately, every single new patch that has come out since I moved here has broken the design. Like I've redesigned it with each new patch, and then the next version breaks it. So, yeah. Hopefully, 1.9 will be the last time that I need to redesign it, and I can finally build it and then get around my island in style. But right now, it's ender pearls and running. So over here, we'll see what's down there in a minute. First, let's go and check out the melon and pumpkin farms, which is a little bit strange. It's a very weird design. Apparently, I lost a piece of string for that vine. This is a weird design. This is actually the very first thing that I designed for my island. Like the very first. Before I came up with anything else for my island, I made this melon and pumpkin farm design. And it was back before I really knew what I was doing with the island. I just knew that I wanted things to be designed in a weird way. So I came up with this system. And if we go ahead and step on this. Oop, 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 oop. Laggy. And then water flushes it down. For some reason, when I very first designed this, it seemed really efficient. But now it's really luck dependent. Like you can get anywhere from about 25% up to like 80% of the items come down to you. And it looks like we got pretty unlucky. There's a lot of stuff still stuck up there. So, yeah, this design, I don't recommend it. It was... Yeah, I did it because it looked really cool, and when I was testing it, it seemed to work okay, but now it's pretty shoddy. So, I will probably be designing a better one at some point. Some weird... I have to come up with a design I like. But then I'll probably build a second one. I'll keep this one, but I'll build something different, because this one is just so inefficient at automatically gathering things. So, good enough. Let's come over here. Put these away. And let's head on to the wheat and sugarcane and, well, wheat, carrot, potato, and sugarcane farms. So, again, cavernous room. Got all the kind of cave-like vibe going on. This is probably my second favorite area, next to my potion room. I really like how this area turned out. I think it looks awesome. I also think that these two, particularly the wheat, potato, and carrot farm, and I suppose beetroot as of 1.9, anything that's planted in farmland, I guess. This farm, I like how it harvests. So let's go ahead and trigger that. And sit back and watch. There it goes. So the water all kind of trickles down gradually. That's all from the same source block. And I think it looks awesome. So, there we go. Go pick all this up. This is another... It's a little inefficient. Stuff does get stuck up on the sides sometimes. Which is a bit of a bummer. But there's no way to fix that without it looking crappy. So, you know, I'm one of those people who's willing to sacrifice a little bit of efficiency for the sake of looking really cool. So, yeah. There we go with that. The water lasts way too long on this one, too. I wonder if something changed with my timer design. I'll have to look into that. Let's go ahead and put all that away. Again, I'll replant this later. Or I'll forget, and it'll stay like this for months. Whichever. Ooh, I'm out of space for seeds. That's a bummer. And wait, oh, my carrots were in this one. Sorting chests. Okay. And over here, sugarcane farm. This is the most convoluted design. Again, you can sense a theme with how I design things. It tends to be kind of convoluted. Hello? Update? There we go. Yeah, for some reason the water updates on this tend to just not happen. This one is surprisingly efficient though. It seems to get nearly all of the sugarcane right along the edge usually. I never set up an automatic collection system for this, and I really should. But you do that, then it sets itself back to its normal state. This one, as convoluted and weird as it is, I think it looks really, really cool to have the water backlit behind the sugarcane and whatnot. So I like how this one turned out, even if it is really overly complicated. The redstone's a nightmare. So that's these two. This thing up here, this is a it's just a bridge to kind of separate the two areas to give them kind of a divider. Why is that block unsealed? Anyway, it's just kind of a bridge to separate the two, and it also gives you a quick way out and into this area rather than having to wind around in the staircase. If we head over this way, now we're going to head over to, let's see, what's all in this area? Cactus and sugarcane, not sugarcane, cocoa beans and vines. So here's my cactus farm. They pop off and get automatically picked up by hoppers down below and put into a hidden chest. Again with my hidden chests right over here. Ooh, getting quite a collection going on. So, yeah, pretty typical, stuff. Nothing particularly special about it. This is a little weird. I don't know what I was thinking when I designed this room. I think I need to redesign it. Because just having these like trees down here, it's in a way it's kind of cool, but I think it's just weird mostly. So I may redesign this to be more like a specially designed pillar or something. But you go ahead and step on this, shifts the blocks up and down. You can go ahead and pick up other cocoa beans and plant them however you want. Obviously, you could fill the trunks up completely. It's just I have tons of these already, so I don't really need more. Good enough. Yeah, this is not counting what I have at my actual storage room. And then a vine farm, which I don't need at all because my entire island is covered in vines that I can constantly shear, but I like having dedicated farms for things. So, that covers the farming area, so far at least. There will be more additions to this area, I haven't gotten around to doing them. So, let's go ahead and take the scenic route back. We have a little beach. Little waterfall. I do plan on, in the near future, doing a lot more, excuse me. A lot more kind of points of interest on the surface of the island. Like, I have, for a really long time, been kind of leery of updating the surface of the island, because I don't want to, like, ruin the natural feel of it. But at the same time, I think that it is missing a lot of stuff that could make it really cool. So, I will be doing that in the near future, I hope, if I get around to it. So, next, let's head on down to the Nether. There's one other area I want to go to, specifically. It's not quite on my island, but I still consider it part of my island area. So we'll head on through here. This, by the way, is the central area for where my transportation system will be. I don't know the exact size of it yet, but I know that I want a big area. I want to make it look kind of grand and everything. But like I said, unfortunately, every new patch since I moved to this island has broke it, so I'm left with just this big open area, hoping to someday have a transportation system there. So we head down here. You can already tell what's happening. It's a pretty typical thing, I think, to have your nether port... Why is there a block there? Okay. So other than the ruined reveal of my portal by a freaking dirt block, this whole kind of nether portal corrupting the overworld thing, I think it's a pretty common thing, but I like doing it. And yeah, there's my portal. We're not going to go through quite yet. I like how my portal room has turned out. I think it looks really cool. Also, see if he wants to say hi. This is... Oh god, don't hurt me. This is Jerry. Hi, Jerry. Oh god, no. He's dangerous. He's almost killed me, I believe, twice. Like, within, like, 2 hearts of dying. So I do need to be a little careful around him. So this is obviously just meant to be like a recreation of the Nether. This is inspired by the Nether fortresses, like the big hallway structures of the Nether fortresses. Obviously, I had to change it up a little bit because... Oh, bat! Are you kidding me? I just ender pearled a bat midair. Get out of here. I don't think I've ever done that before. So, the... Yeah, this is meant to be those pathways in the Nether fortresses, but they're so bulky and boring looking. If you've ever looked at them, they're just completely square. Really boring, so I had to make them look a little bit better. Anywho, let's head into the Nether, which doesn't have anything interesting in it, unfortunately. I have a Nether hub way out there. We're on a server, by the way. I'm the only one on, but we are on a server. And there is a Nether hub. I need to make my tunnel interesting. The issue is that we are... Yeah, we're 4,500 blocks away from spawn. So it's a long way. And I need to make... The Nether tunnel design that I'm going to go with is really, really big. So, yeah, it's going to take a while to actually get around to doing that. But I do look forward to redecorating my Nether area. So here we are. Oh, I forgot my portal is funny looking. Forgot about that. This is what I affectionately refer to as my cheaty tower. And by that I mean it's basically the area where anything really big and bulky and kind of mechanic breaking is. So like this, for example, is a mob tower, which doesn't really seem to be working at the moment. Oh, there it goes. This is a really old, inefficient design. It's kind of my go-to early game mob farm that I came up. It's a design I came up with way back in the day. And it works relatively well, though it seems really slow. I don't know why it's so slow right now. Whatever the case may be. Oh, it's picking up a little bit. That's going to get replaced soon. In fact, this entire area is going to get reworked a bit in the near future, I'm hoping. I've said that a few times now. All on the to-do list. But yeah, mob tower. If we head over this way, This thing is broken as of 1.8. This was a combination of a smoothstone generator and a obsidian generator, where basically you could stand in this one spot and you could nearly AFK and get both. If I go ahead and flip this switch, the smoothstone generator still works. It's just, if you're looking for a smoothstone generator, there's better ways to do it. It was just kind of a fun project to kind of try and get both in the same same area is what I'm looking for. Yeah, if I would put redstone across this, it won't work anymore, unfortunately. Actually, what does it do if I do it right now? I have a snow golem here too for when I need snow. I need to make a better system for that. But yeah, you'd put that there. Scary. So that's what happens. I had not tried that since the update, so I wasn't sure what would happen. But yeah, previously, back when that did work, that would all turn into obsidian, and yeah, it would work fine. That was close. Okay. So that's that. That'll be torn down and replaced probably by a proper smoothstone generator, which I don't really need, mind you, but why not, you know? Then down here, quite obviously, we have an iron golem farm. It is, I believe, 12 cells. And I can't remember the rates on it. I haven't used it in a long time. I think that it's about a stack of iron blocks every, like, hour of being here or something like that. So it's nowhere near, say, an Iron Titan. But for me, it's done pretty well, and I decided to go with this kind of setup because it'll never break. I'm confident that this design, at least ever since the, like, now that we've gone through that little phase with Mojang where they were trying to nerf these, and now that, like, we've kind of convinced them not to do that, I'm pretty sure that this design will never break. So that's why I went with this. I don't think there's much here. No, I pretty much cleaned these out recently. Or at least last time I was here. So yeah, that's the iron farm. Not a whole lot to say about that. You've probably seen it 1.5 million times. So there's that. Now heading back, there are 2 other directions you may have noticed from the tower. One goes that way, one goes that way. And there's nothing at the end of those yet. The one on the right is going to be a villager trading system. Like, it's going to go out a ways so it doesn't interfere with the iron farm. But then I'm going to build, you know, a typical villager breeder and whatnot, so I can take advantage of that. The other direction, I'm still not sure on. The original plan was to build an overworld gold farm there, but I'm not sure if I want to now, because that plan was back when that was like a really viable thing to do. Not that it's not now. I still might do it just for the sake of, you know, just for cool factor. But I do also intend to build at least 2 gold farms in the Nether, which will be immensely more efficient. So it's kind of hard to say. I still like the idea of doing the gold farm, the overworld one here, but I'm not sure. If I think of something that's more worthwhile to put here, I might do that instead. So with that, I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to. Pretty much everything that I originally intended, at least. And yeah. So, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you have... Of course it's raining again. Why wouldn't it? So, if you have any suggestions on anything you saw, anything that I could, you know, change, or anything that I could build, stuff like that, be sure to tell me. I would absolutely love to hear it. And, yeah. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys again in the near future. And, until then, bye-bye.